Trader.com's Daily Brief. The answer to your question is learn the goddamn process, trade your trading plans, don't take too much risk on any one trade, and just let yourself get rich.
Hello, everybody. Messed up there, but welcome back to another episode of the Rational Investors Daily Brief. This is Chris speaking. No camera for me today. A little bit under the weather, and you may hear some background noise as well. The housekeeper here is just finishing up her stuff. Welcome back. Today is Monday, February 26th. Looks like we're back in the full swing of things. I don't believe that there's a holiday this week, so lots of economic data is due out throughout the week. We'll take a look at that shortly. Going to try to give you guys some value here over the next 20 minutes or so, and see if we can kind of glean any information out of what's to come over the coming week. First things first, let's take a look at the news. Not a lot happening in newsland. I did see that Hungary, the Hungarian parliament has approved Sweden to join NATO, so that might be worth mentioning. I guess Sweden was once a neutral country and now it's not, so lots of turnings of wheels there in the global economy and over there in Europe. We do have some stuff going on over here in the States. I did see that Mr. Trump won South Carolina, if I'm not mistaken. The primaries down there, beating out, I think, Nikki Haley. And if anybody's been paying attention, and I think this is getting a little bit swept under the rug, but I think Trump is turning his tone a little bit when it comes to his stance on Bitcoin. So we'll see over the next few months what he has to say, if he has to say anything. Not that it really matters, but I can only imagine he's trying to garner some sort of additional votes from the younger blocks of voters. As far as econs go, like I said earlier, we are coming into a heavy econ driven week this week. I think this morning we had new home sales that came out. I believe they came out more. Let's see, let's refresh this, make sure we've got all the current information. Yeah, so we've got new home sales out. We've got a couple of talking Feds also up this week. We've got one Fed speaker later on after the markets closed and futures markets is reopened. I'm looking at East Coast time, by the way. Tomorrow we've got durable goods. We've got another Fed speaker in the morning there. Case Shiller home price month over month and year over year. So be sure to be cautious around those times if you're in the markets. It's usually around the time that gold opens up, so won't be trading gold tomorrow, just out of caution. And I saw how the opening ranges kind of played out this morning, so I'm in kind of a cool your jets mode. Wait and see what develops over the week. Wednesday we've got goods trade balance, GDP growth rate, more Fed speakers, EIA inventories, and yeah, Wednesday's usually a pretty heavy econ week, so be cognizant of that. And Thursday and Friday we've got more econs, more Fed speakers. We'll probably talk more about that as the week goes on, but be careful out there. It could be a choppy week. We'll go ahead and take a look at some charts in a little bit to kind of see what the markets are giving us this fine morning or afternoon, depending on where you are. I want to get Cole on the show at some particular point in time, and we've got a host of guest speakers for you this week. But I know that we've got the lunar eclipse coming up at the end of March, so I'm sure getting Cole back on the show to talk celestial stuff would be probably appropriate. So stay tuned for that. I think March is actually going to be a pretty big month. from a news perspective or just event wise. We've got the eclipse coming up. We've got, I think there's an Ethereum upgrade coming up as well, if I'm not mistaken. When is that coming out? Yeah, this Dinkun upgrade. It's supposed to be coming out sometime in from what I understand, was sometime in March. I'll look for that later on, but I was thinking it should be around March. We've also got the traditional markets. We've got the equities rolling over into the June contracts, I believe, and I think that's quad triple witching middle of March, so keep that in your scopes just from a market participant perspective. We've got the halvening coming up in April, so we've got a fun next few months coming up in the markets here. If you've been paying attention to Bitcoin, you can kind of see that we've been running up here. I'll talk more about this in a little bit, but we've been running up here over the past few weeks, past few months actually, past year. Higher highs, higher lows. Nothing's really changing there. So you would expect that there'd be some sort of pullback at some particular point in time in the near future, but we'll see. Brian always says, or has said, the crypto market likes to top out about a month before the halvening. So maybe that's another thing to look for in the month of March. Going back to traditional markets, let's take a look over at the DXY. Nothing has really changed from last week. Last I talked about this on Friday. We're brushing up against the 200 period moving average on the daily here. Kind of in no man's land. Bollinger Bands are starting to squeeze a little bit more and more each day. I'm going to assume that we'll see a little bit more action out of the DXY as the week progresses. As far as the uptrend goes from the end of December, we're kind of creeping on the other side of this upward sloping trend line. Now, if we can get some market structure on the other side of this trend line, maybe we'll see something happen here. Maybe see the Bollinger Band squeeze a little bit more. And maybe we'll see some downward pressure on the dollar if equity markets, crypto markets continue to traverse higher in price. So looking over at the ES, like I mentioned earlier, I was looking at the lower time frames this morning when we came into open. We opened pretty much in range in value, so there's really not much that could have been done. That's probably the least friendly of market situations when it comes to taking the opening range trade. Usually you want to take the opening range trade, at least according to Mr. Jim Dalton, which I believe was briefly mentioned by our guest Sked Finger on Friday. Mind Over Markets, that book, I kind of got some information, some education out of that. But I usually want to look at the market and look to take trades when we open outside of range, outside of value. Those are the times where opportunity presents itself the most. So we open in range and value. If we go down to the 1 minute here, we can kind of see where that first minute of trade was here. Looks like we broke to the upside, so if you would have taken the trade, the way that I like to do it is I like to take the trade and have one tick above and one tick below. That way, if price breaks the range in either direction, I get filled there. It's not moving. Stupid magnet. So as you can see, we didn't even get to scratch here before we completely crapped out and moved a little bit lower, below value, playing with the overnight lows from the weekend and the lows from previous week. previous session, I should say. So not much is happening here. Again, as Econs and more information comes out during the week, I'm sure this will get a little bit more interesting. But as far as I'm seeing here in the ES this morning, a lot of hurry up and wait. So we'll see what the upcoming few days has to offer. As far as crude goes, crude opening range kind of started just shy of the bottom of the entire range from Friday session. We put in some activity in the overnight session. As you can see, this is Hoag's weekly kickoff level. Those levels tend to be pretty important pivot points, or at least inflection points, where you see some sort of change in participation. As you can see here, we kind of just came down, and this is Friday session, just kind of rested on top of this week's kickoff level. Put in some nice market structure here, nice little W, some bullish divs, and we're kind of off to the races. You can kind of see the Hoag 80% play, I guess, kind of play out here. We were below value, below the entire range. The opening range did not work out here as well. Observing that. Where are we here? 9 o'clock, 9 a.m. Eastern. It's here, so similar situation to ES, where we kind of came up and almost tagged 1-to-1. That's where I like to usually take profit, but we couldn't even tag that 1-to-1 level, so came up just shy and then completely crapped out. Washed lows, hit the 200 period moving average on the 1 minute here, and never looked back. And I guess if you were looking at the market structure down here that took place in the overnight, maybe you could have gotten a nice little treat there to the upside if you were thinking long. Let's see what kind of, if that tagged 71.8 would be interesting to see. Yeah, Brian's favorite fib. Crazy how that works sometimes. But if you were keen on that, you were on your A game this morning, you would have gotten a pretty nice ride there. Probably if you would have put enough position size on, would have had a runner. Definitely. I like to encourage runners when playing these futures markets, so would have been a good trade had you taken that. Wasn't really paying too much attention to gold. I think we opened pretty much in range in value here too, from Friday's session. As you can see, not much movement. We're still inside Friday's range in value, just playing with the 30-minute 200 period moving average here. Put in a little bit of some divergences on the Willie and MACD potential. Haven't been confirmed yet, but you can see probably if we break through this high over here, probably have a trade on your hands potentially. Break through that high, risk that low if you can stomach the risk. And you might have yourself something to play with here in the gold. Again, I'm not really too keen on the gold here. I'm just kind of watching as the week goes. I haven't been in the futures trading pits in a couple weeks since I've been traveling with Mr. Beamish, who I think has made his way through Sacramento and is moving up through Grants Pass as we speak. But I've been, kind of traveling and then falling a little ill this past weekend, kind of just getting my feet wet with futures markets here. So that's kind of what I'm looking at here in the main markets I look at and target in the futures pits. Moving over to crypto, Bitcoin. Like I said earlier, there's still some upside left in Bitcoin. Looks like it's just kind of just marching along here. On the daily, we've made new highs. Looks like we're heading towards that 55,600 level I mentioned last week. Big fat round number. Again, we're definitely in an area where pullbacks should be expected. So you want to be extra careful there. Like I said, we've got the halving coming up. We've got some pretty big news events and celestial events coming up over the next few days, weeks and months. And just be cognizant of that. I did see that. What is this? This is not the chart I was looking for. Let's take a look at ETH. I do like to look at ETH. And looks like we're making higher highs here as well. Let's see. Actually, I want the other ETH chart. Here's my ETH chart. Yep, so just continuing on higher here. Looking for some sort of weakness. Yeah, as you can see, lots of bear divs coming in, but we keep on making higher highs. So I see that Willie's beginning to get stupid again. RSI, maybe not overbought just yet. And you can see some potential divs coming in here on MACD. Buyers kind of slowing up, drying up here in this area. But yeah, I think we need some serious selling pressure here to move price from the trajectory that it's going. And I don't think I've mentioned this yet, but we do have a special guest coming on in the after party that's going to talk to us a little bit about his crypto activity. I think you guys will have some fun over there. Effie 1075 on Discord. He's been a long time site member, and we've had him on the show a few times in the past, so it should be fun to chat with him in the after party. I did get a double on this one named Cope over on the Solana chain. I don't know how it happened, because I don't really see the price chart reflecting where it said I got filled at, but I got filled. I bought here this Cope versus Sol at 0.0011, and I set my order at 0.0022, and I don't see that we've actually come up there yet. However, if I go down to my order history, we can see where I sold my Sol, bought some Cope here. There's the price per Cope I got in at versus Sol, and here's where I got filled at over the weekend, the 24th. So I'm not gonna question it too much. I did see my my wallet increase in Sol value, so I guess I got filled. But pretty strange. This DeFi space always amazes me. Looks like I'm dropping frames. Hopefully you guys can hear me over there over on the YouTube. And that's pretty much what I've been seeing here in the markets. Again, on the mend, personally speaking, since I did come down with a little bit of food poisoning. El Salvador tried to attack me, and it was definitely successful. Defenses weren't too keen on that. I did pretty good too. I went to the gym 3 times last week. Got a massage. Was trying to be more on the Julian type of time frame, treating yourself well. But Friday night came around, and I got one of those bacon wrapped hot dogs, and that was all she wrote. Eesh. I don't wish that on anyone, but hey, I survived, and I can live to tell about it. Let's hop on over to the after party. It's about 20 minutes here. We'll talk more crypto over there. Definitely want to get Effie's views on what he's seeing over in the crypto markets. We could definitely talk more about that. Be sure to tune in tomorrow. We've got Siord on the call. Should be fun talking more crypto, and it looks like Render, I believe, is still moving higher. RDR. we take a quick look at that. I tend to look at the perpetual contracts on MEXC, so I just gravitate there. But yeah, it looks like yeah, we're just kind of moving up higher again here on the daily. Doesn't look like there's strong rejection, so maybe we'll see some more higher highs here. But congratulations to all those. Oh, look, new highs. I wonder if that's all the data that exists for RNDR, but new highs, show me a new high, I'll show you a buy. So congrats to all those render holders out there. If we get any significant pullbacks, I'll probably want to join in, but not anytime soon, it's looking like. So all right, I'll wrap that up with the public show here. Like I said, join us in the after party. If you don't know how to get to the after party, browse out to therationalinvestor.com. If you're new here and you aren't a member of our Discord, feel free to join our free trial, sign up for a membership, and you'll get access to those after party broadcasts like we're about to go into right here. So as Brian likes to say, don't take any wooden nickels. Remember what your number one job is. Play from a position of strength, risk first approach, all that good stuff. And the only thing left for me to say here is bye for now.